So we are looking at 7.5 today, and we're looking at number 43. So number 43 has us finding the domain and range of a function without graphing it. Ooh, spooky. And we want to explain how we found our solution. So let's think about what 43 is doing for the most part. And I'm actually going to graph not the actual function, but just in general things. So I'm going to graph two things in general. So the first thing I'm going to graph is some square root function. So if I'm looking at y equals the square root of blah plus or minus stuff plus or minus who cares, then in general what this thing is going to look like is it's going to start at some point and it's going to kind of go up like that. If I had an a value on the outside that was negative, then it would come down. So when I'm looking at this one, the positive version of this is going to be opening up and going out to the right like that. If I had a negative version, so negative, but then same deal, copy paste this. So if I had the negative, it would look something like that. Okay, so in this instance, I do have a restricted domain and I have a restricted range. Okay, and that's my even roots. So we happen to be doing it with square roots here, but if it was 4th root, 6th root, 8th root, whatever, it'd be the same story. The reason is I can't take a negative even root. It'd be imaginary. So now let's get into what if this thing is y equals and I have a cube root of same story, right? Which is that I don't care what's underneath and I don't care what's on the outside. What is this thing doing overall? Overall, this thing is doing something like that. I try to get it to pass through the same kind of center point, but I'm no artist. There we go. So this thing is going to kind of be going up and to the right, and it'll go to infinity. It'll go down to the left, and it'll go to infinity. This has a domain and a range of all real numbers. That was not my best all real numbers there. That's much better. That one never happened. I don't know what you're talking about. I knew right from the get-go it was going to look perfect. So without needing to graph this thing, we know since it is a cube root, I can take a cube root of a negative number. It's just going to spit out a negative number for me. That's fine. Cube root of a positive number, just going to spit out a positive number for me. That's fine. So my domain is all real numbers. And then for my range, this thing's going to keep going up and keep going down depending on the side. And again, if I flip this thing and it was negative, same stuff as it was up there, then that's not a very good underlying quotation mark, but that's okay. It would look something like that. Any questions on 43? Perfect.